see it? Keep looking. You see it now? This is Alligator Mound, found in Granville, Ohio. This mound is 150 feet high. The alligator effigy is 250 feet long. The body of the alligator is 40 feet wide. This sits on private land in the middle of Granville, Ohio. Crazy, right? Look at the drone view. It's there in the middle of a neighborhood on private land. We know the truth now.
"27 years later, they arrest Keefe D for the death of Tupac Shakur because he was on interviews. I guess just talking too freely, and he thought he had immunity.
They played on him.
They played on him. You know, who played on him? Who you feel played on him?
The system, the LAPD, because the LAPD gave him immunity in the Fed. They gave him federal immunity to talk about it with them.
He wrote a whole book.
But the state of Nevada filed the charges, nigga.
Yeah, nah.
You went back to Nevada, and nigga, the state of Nevada charged you for the shit because it's state still. And nigga, the shit happened where at? In Nevada.
Yeah.
It happened in Las Vegas. So they did what they did. You said what you said. You said that you seen. You said he was ticking like it's something when you shot. You gave a lot of shit that made it look like.
It's like, I can see the trial just going over his everything that he said. Like, hey, basically you said this here. Say it again. Say it again. Not gonna lie, when they arrested him, he looked like he was already ready to go. He like, oh shit. You know, like, Keith, come on. Let me holler at you.
Cause he knew they just raided his house a week earlier and got some files and some shit that they made stick on the nigga.
Tell you, social media is amplifying the divide between black men and black women. Pages like Justin LA Boy, pages like Spiritual World, who take the most toxic messages from Twitter and all other platforms, put them in one space that are purposely perpetuating narratives that we really aren't interacting with in the real world. You go on a date, you're not having these conversations, but you go on social media and these conversations are constantly repeated, and none of it is solution focused. It's all what they do, what's not being done, and it's not productive. It's not pushing us forward, and what's happening is we are internalizing a lot of trauma that does not belong to us. So
say it again.
So we are internalizing a lot of relationship trauma that does not belong to us. So let's say for me personally, right, I've never been cheated on, but let's say I go and I follow a bunch of women who talk about the fact that, oh, I've been cheated on, all these niggas cheat, they steady cheating. I'm going to sit there and be like, oh yeah, niggas, they all cheat. That's all they do. And I'm not self-aware enough to really understand that that's not even my shit. That's not my baggage. That's somebody else's baggage. So one thing we really have to do is learn how to detach from some of these messages that we are constantly internalizing.
Not like nothing you've ever seen, huh?
Nothing like nothing.
It blows away anything we've seen so far.
Oh man, and the ice below us is that's like the Grand Canyon of ice.
Yep. Like how that Earth is meeting the glacier. See that interesting shape?
Oh wow,
it's
yeah.
making? I know. Like, where are we right now? What planet is this? Just take a phone picture.
I'm just mesmerized. This is some humbling terrain.
To the Great Gorge. Though if that cloud layer wasn't there, we'd be able to see straight up to Denali. Because this is right at the edge of it.
Super smooth in here. I guess it should be. It's late at night, almost midnight. 10 minutes till midnight.
These pools of water.
Ice, like cold car anymore. I can't talk. Got a little bit of pre-sip here.
Yeah, I see that.
Just like blown away looking up at the walls and the peaks next to us. The ice starts to go from smooth to starting to break up here. And then it's just oh man.
Holy crap, man.
I was thinking up that way.
Up this way?
Yeah.
Look at that left GoPro. Oh, that is rad.
So the African map is upside down, and it might seem like a small issue, but it is not. This is how our ancestors used to view the map. And this is how the white man's education has taught us to view the map. Now, why? So in the last video, I taught you guys about as above, so below, darkness and cold, light, the sun lives, the sun dies. So according to African ancestors, this was the true north, while this was south. Also, according to African ancestors, the year was the same as the day and was the same as the body. Now let's compare the year to the day. When you look at the clock correctly with the true north in the correct position and the true south in the correct position, March 21st, saa 3 asubuhi, saa deko kinyi. June 21st, saa 6 mchana, saa uchiel odiochieng. White people call it 12 noon. September 21st, saa 9, saa 9, white people will call it 3 p.m. December 21st, saa 12 asubuhi, saa pagario kogwen in African languages. However, due to politics, racism, and white supremacy, they decided to do this to the map and also to time, so much that north to appear this side and south to appear this side, so that this is the above and this is the below. While according to Africans, this was the above, this is the true above, the true north, and this is the true below. So our psychology has been turned upside down, because when you interfere with the rhythm of the universe, you interfere with the human psyche.
I don't believe I'm anybody but somebody who's come here to teach. And if you take it, I'm humble and honored that you took the tools that I gave, but I am proud if you go on your own, research it for yourself and come up with your own idea of it, not my idea of it, your own idea. If you come up with my idea, then I'm a preacher. If you come up with your idea, then you start to empower yourself, and then you would know how to be in any fucking community, because what you would connect that makes you commune is valuable. You have nothing to commune with. You have not been trained in nothing. What are you going to do if you was in the forest? What are you going to do if you got your wish? All white people are gone. So do we all stop paying mortgage? But what about the black people who owned your house? Do you stop paying rent to them? Or the black company maybe who's owned a few houses? You stop paying mortgage to them? What about the train system? Do we still run it? Who's going to run it? Like, or do we keep up with the bullshit that they put on the planet and we work as as slaves. You can't commune as a slave. What community are you going to join in and go, well, I'm a train conductor, been doing it for 20 years. Well, what could you offer the community? I could sweep. No, you have to do something. So we are so bad that we have to have a look in self. See, in Africa, they would identify your talent early and cultivate it. You didn't have to. In spirituality was the culture and their principles of spirituality, which were occult or which would be considered occult today in Mother Africa that you love. And I need to point this out while we're here. You niggas are universal beings and your humanity is a global being. You touch, sniff, farted on every stitch of this goddamn planet. You are not from Africa. That's what white people mind controlled you into. So you could say, well, if we're from Africa, they must be from Europe. No, they're from nowhere. They're a transient entity that was created here and cause havoc everywhere they go. Those are the facts.
Again, before y'all blame me, just listen to what the man's saying.
They got Adam grown and tried to mate him with these clones. That didn't work either. So then they said, okay, we got to make another one. So they made another one, called it Eve. And they mated Adam and Eve together and boom, had a baby. So then they made more Adams and more Eves through genetic tinkering and in vitro fertilization. Not through having Adam and Eve create 8 billion people. Adam and Eve did not have to create the whole planet worth of people. There were already millions of people here, or hundreds of thousands at least, when Adam and Eve arrived. And Adam and Eve were just one of many that were then born in that particular way by taking the zygote and then using in vitro fertilization and then having them mate with each other at different specific times inside of the Garden of Eden, E-D-I-N in the ancient text. It was a mating ground, a mating laboratory, and it would have people mating at specific times so they can continue to make babies. And it was a wealth of genes in that pool. In other words, it wasn't two people creating a baby.
Will be there.
So, what lies ahead? Are quantum computers and AI going to dominate the human race? Join us today as we delve into the world of quantum computers and uncover the terrifying truth that will leave you in a state of absolute disbelief.
I think the danger of AI is much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads by a lot. Mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes.
I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years.
The biggest issue I see with so-called AI experts is that they think they know more than they do. And they think they're smarter than they actually are. This tends to plague smart people. They define themselves by their intelligence, and they don't like the idea that a machine can be way smarter than them, so they discount the idea, which is fundamentally flawed. That's the wishful thinking situation. I'm very close to the cutting edge in AI, and it scares the hell out of me. It's capable of vastly more than almost anyone knows, and the rate of improvement is exponential.
Our ego doesn't usually allow us to think of ourselves in such a demeaning way. But the reality is, to get straight to it, you are a food source. You are a food source. You're not eating physically. Your energy is fed off of constantly. The human body is nothing but a tool to trap an energy in to start creating things. Those things are called, we'll say, elixirs, but chemicals that the body makes, chemicals that the organs make based upon either love or fear. It's clear it must be more of a delicacy to have these fear-based emotions and fear-based elixirs and chemicals created in the human body. For these archons to feed off of.
Hi, are you with the girls with the paint on their faces? So I think the white paint is okay, but I think the black paint might be a little much.
I know, I thought about that. There's an innocence in it, and so but I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then I know there's other colors and stuff with it too. There's like fluorescent and other things.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, it might get a little, people might, but I think some people are getting a little offended for it.
I get that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't want to kill a kid's spirit, and you don't want to
Does she pick that color?
Yeah, she has no, yeah.
In America, when they get fed up, in Palestine is the black Negroes who followed the law and went to white people's schools. We are the Hamas. Every time there's a police shooting and we tear up something, we are the Hamas. When George Floyd was murdered, we was Hamas. When we burnt down buildings and we was Hamas. The black people that didn't do it, they was the Palestinians. Do you see the difference? But we're all the same. Listen to me. There was some black people who went out and destroyed things because George Floyd was killed. There was some black people who didn't go out and destroy nothing. It's the same with Hamas in Palestine. You can only take so much. There's gonna come a time in America when there are gonna be some ignorant niggas in this country is gonna do the exact same thing that Hamas done to Israel because they couldn't take no more. How many more police shootings can we take before we do what Hamas did? How many more Dylan Roof shootings can we take before we do what Hamas did? How many more injustices can we take in America before we respond like Hamas, North Korea, Iran, and the rest of the people who they try to make believe that they are terrorists?
Start a revolution, basically, you said.
We are the Hamas.
Yeah.
We are not the Palestinians, nigga. We are the Hamas niggas. So don't get tricked into what they are telling us because the Jews control the media.
Holy shit, look. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. This is ridiculous. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh my god, I need to get the other camera going. Fuck. This is insane. And we're getting a corona. What? Where do I look? Where do I point the camera? Oh my god. Holy shit. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Down by Melbu. By Melbu. Are you in Melbu? Yeah. No, not Melbu. Not Melbu. Marlborough, down towards the tunnel on the left. Marlborough? I don't know.
Wake-up call, not only for Israel, not only for the Jewish community. This is a wake-up call for all of you. All of you here, all of America, all of Europe. You are next. You are next.
Another reason that the Apocrypha may have been left out of the Bible could be because it actually talks about mermaids being demons as well as bird people. So by now you are all aware of the fact that the Dead Sea Scrolls contained parts of the Apocrypha that attributed to the belief of giants, Nephilim, demons, and now even mermaids. The Book of Enoch contains so much information that even if you are not biblical or you do not believe in Christ, you should probably read. And I think with all the talk about Starbucks and they have a siren on their cup, let's talk about some mermaids. The story of mermaids actually makes complete sense, and the Book of Enoch kind of explains why mermaids came about and where they came from originally. So you know how Noah was said to take 2 of every animal and put them on the ark before the flood happened, and that's where Enoch comes in. Enoch is actually the great-grandfather of Noah. Also, this will be the next episode of my podcast. You can find it on Spotify under That's Insane with Asha. So in the beginning of the Book of Enoch, it talks about the fallen angels, the Nephilim, and basically what brings on the flood that wipes out the earth, or the reason that Noah needed to build this ark. Specifically, the Book of Enoch talks about good watchers and bad watchers. The bad watchers were those who abandoned their post watching over humans, came to earth, and began to fornicate with animals and humans. In the Book of Enoch, it also talks about how these fallen angels shared secrets with humans that were not supposed to be shared. In doing so, they taught mortal women how to use makeup and even the discovery of jewelry, which then in turn made them more appeasable and more beautiful to the watchers and created more fornication. And in turn, this is why the flood was sent, and it was to wipe out everything on earth that had become corrupt. Basically, you had the Nephilim, or giants, down here eating humans because they were ghastly. They were not friendly giants, and they were said to be over 450 feet tall. And then you had fallen angels fornicating with mortal women. And this is why the flood was sent, because he said, hey, we're just going to take everybody out. You know what happened because of that flood? Sirens or mermaids. So when the fallen angels came down, they didn't just fornicate with humans. They also took 200 of each animal and tried to crossbreed. That could explain why you see mermaids. Biblical references to mermaids are actually sirens. I want you to look at this book of Enoch, chapter 19, verse 1. And it says, and Uriel said to me, here shall stand the angels who have connected themselves with women, and their spirits, assuming many different forms, are defiling mankind, and shall lead them astray into sacrificing to demons as gods. With all this research I have done about mermaids and everything else, there is no way that they cannot be real.
We got rid of Aunt Jemima, we got rid of Uncle Ben's, but I am wildly triggered by the brands and the photos that I see in this grocery store. Using a polar bear to sell your ice cream, Klondike? Did you know polar bears were extinct? No thank you. Canceled. Paw Patrol mac and cheese. Listen, defund the police, defund Paw Patrol. V8, you know what kind of emissions an engine like that puts out into the environment? I drive a Prius, and that is canceled. Okay, I don't exactly know who this guy is, but I don't like his look at all. I don't like anything that this guy stands for. Canceled. White rice, brown rice. Why do they gotta be separated? Think about it. Canceled. Uncle Ben's? Absolutely offended by that. Listen, do I know any minorities myself? No, I don't, but I feel very confident speaking on their behalf on the internet. Hola, Tapatio. Una pregunta. You ever heard of cultural appropriation? Canceled. Oh, look at there. It's a woman leading a cow against its will to the slaughter, selling popsicles shaped as bullets. Wow, absolutely canceled. Blue ribbon, everyone's a winner. Thank you, that is the only brand of ice cream I will support. Rebel ice cream, wow, why don't you just change this to Soldier in the Confederate Army ice cream? Okay, I just looked up Red Baron. Red Baron is a fighter pilot in the German Air Force in World War I. Seems extremely anti-Semitic. Orville Redenbacher, look at this guy. He definitely made some mistakes in his past. You want to cancel him? We can if we want. I'll look up some mistakes that he made in his past and we can cancel him. I need to appease my white guilt by virtue signaling on the internet. The Keebler Elves. Isn't that cute? Well, it's 2020. They're called little people. Canceled. Tombstone. What stands on top of a tombstone? A statue. Tear them all down. Canceled. Ezekiel bread, as described in the Holy Scriptures. That's offensive to atheists? Canceled immediately. Oh, little Debbie. Why does she have to have red hair? Offensive to gingers. Canceled. Hey, Granny Smith, you ever heard of, I don't know, ageism? Cancel. What do we have here? Country gravy, $7.58. Brown gravy, $7.47. I'm just saying, think about it. Tupac. You ever heard any of his lyrics? Very violent. Is that what you guys support? Spam? Add them to the list. Canceled. It's 2020 and Oreo is still separating the light and the dark. You know who's out here solving racism in a Walmart? Duplex. 1850. You know what those dates are? Pre-Civil War. You know another term that means pre-Civil War? Antebellum. That's right. Just like the band, that brand is canceled. Oh, super fun. Barnum & Bailey's Animal Cruelty Crackers. Canceled. A woman carrying salt alone in the rain. Absolutely not. Just looked up the definition of minion. 1, an underling or follower of a powerful person. 2, a servant. Canceled. If the Dixie Chicks are canceled, then so are these plates. There are thousands of products in this grocery store, and if I consume any of them, I also support the political and moral choices of everyone involved in that company, which makes literally no sense, but it's 2020, and here we are. Wheat thins. I don't think so. Another impossible standard for women to live up to. Let's get some wheat thicks up here, and then we'll talk. I love Lizzo. Okay, now we're in the cleaning aisle. We got 2 dish scrubbers with hands with fingernail polish on them. Why do the women always have to do the dishes? Canceled. Arm and Hammer seems very oppressive. Hey, Rice Krispie treats, why don't you try some diversity? White, white, white. Canceled. Megan Rapinoe on the Cliff Bar. Thank you. Gender wage gap finally solved. Oh, what's that? And this doesn't mean anything at all, and we still have real problems that we need to address. Okay. Oh, sorry.
So what do we have here?
So this is a cloned cat.
Get out of here.
Yes.
Okay, so far I have 2 questions.
What's your question?
So since it's a cloned cat, is there like a real cat that looks like that one?
There is. So there was an original cat, and that cat is still alive, and his owner decided he wanted to clone him. And now we have a cat that is genetically identical to the original cat.
Okay, let's see the cat.
See him?
Okay, wait, do they say the same stuff? So that one's not real. Does it have a heart or anything?
He has a heart. He's a normal cat.
See that? See that?
Just like any other cat.
How do y'all do that?
So he's a special breed of cat called a Bengal cat.
Called a really big cat.
Yeah, he's a big boy, and he's only 9 months old.
If she bites him, I'm gonna be very mad.
The cat is not gonna bite. I don't think with a cat.
Oh no, he's really sweet. He won't bite anybody or anything.
Okay.